Hi, welcome to Main Street Macro. I'm Neela Richardson. This week, the Federal Reserve holds its annual high profile meeting in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. This is a meeting where about 120 finance leaders, central bankers, and academics meet to discuss very wonky but very important global issues and hopefully get some fly fishing time in over the weekend. Now, the highlight of these meetings is the annual speech given by the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jay Powell, on Friday. It's the only public part of the meeting, and maybe you'll want to stream it this year because last year, Powell's speech contained a very dire warning for the economy. He said something to the effect of, there will be pain. And that pain was going to come right to Main Street's front door in terms of job losses and a slower economy. Well, fast forward a year, we haven't seen that same kind of pain. And there are really three reasons why. One, there's been progress on inflation. You see, last year when Powell made those remarks, inflation was soaring. It was up over 8%. The freshest read on inflation for July showed that the prices have only grown 3.2% compared to a year ago. That's a lot of progress. Now, the second reason why there hasn't been that much pain is the labor market. Last year, unemployment rate was 3.5%. That's near 50-year lows for the US economy. This year, well, it's still at 3.5%. And it's hovered around that rate for the past 12 months. So we haven't seen the pain of job loss. In fact, if you look at indicators of layoffs, namely new jobless claims, you can see that they've still remained very, very low. They actually took a step back last week. And the labor force participation rate for prime age workers is actually higher than it was before the pandemic. And that should alleviate some concerns from the Fed, who's been worried about overly tight labor markets. Now, the third reason there's been so much good news on the economy with very little pain is the consumer. Remember, consumers are 70% of the economy. And the freshest read on the consumer shows that they are spending. In fact, retail sales were almost double what economists expected month over month. And they're up 3% from a year ago. So, as long as the consumer is doing okay, it looks like the economy can avoid some of the pain of a recession and still make progress on inflation. Thanks for watching the Main Street Macro. For more information on the week ahead, including a deep dive into those Jackson Hole meetings, please check out adpri.org.